All right, today I want to talk to you about something that is so obscure and so rare in the real estate investing world because lots of people talk about buying rentals and cash flow. But I'm going to show you something that you could do from the comfort of your home online, and you can make stupid amounts of interest, even outdoing the average indexes in the stock market annually. All right. And what we're going to talk about is tax liens and deed certificates. The fact of the matter is, all this came about because I was so sick and tired of researching this and finding companies charging thousands and thousands, even as much as $50,000 to teach you how to do this. And the truth is, only 1% of real estate investors have ever done this before. So it's very understood. And I put together an incredible course on it. Links down below, but we're going to go over it here. And I think that sale price is going to blow your minds and change your life. I'm not joking. But hey, everything's a risk. So let's just dive in. So the hidden wealth strategy that very few people talk about, which most people are looking to build financial success or wealth focused on stocks, real estate, or business. But there's one that they don't talk about, right? And it's one of the most overlooked and profitable investment opportunities, which is tax liens and tax deed certificates. This investment strategy allows you to acquire real estate for pennies on the dollar or earn high interest rates backed by government guarantees. Not my guarantee, government guarantees. It's a powerful tool for wealth building, yet many investors have no idea it exists. So what I want to do is talk about what tax liens and tax deed certificates are, why they're a low risk, high reward investment, and how they can help you achieve financial success. And lastly, I want to go over why you should be learning about them starting today. All right. So first off, what are tax liens and tax deed certificates? Well, when a homeowner fails to pay property taxes, which you've been hearing about a lot in the news lately, the local government still needs to get that money to fund schools, roads, and public services. Think fire departments and police officers, right? To recover those funds that the homeowner didn't pay, the government does one of two things. They either, depending on what county or what state they're in, they issue a tax lien certificate. The government sells a lien on the property to an investor, which could be you, over the internet, right? Who earns interest when the owner eventually pays their overdue taxes. If the owner never pays the investor may have the right to take ownership of the property or file a document that would force that property into a tax sale once the certain amount of time has passed, right? The other way investors make money around the country is by investing in tax deed certificates. Now, again, instead of selling a lien, depending on where you live or where you want to invest, the government would sell the property itself at an auction for the amount of unpaid taxes. So if a homeowner doesn't pay their $5,000 property tax bill and it goes to a tax lien auction, the auction amount starts at $5,000. This allows you as an investor to buy properties at a fraction of their value, sometimes for just a few $1,000s. And this is really happening. One of my tax lien coaches went to an auction in Arizona a few weeks ago, and there were only, including him, 3 investors in a room with around 50 properties to auction off. This is no joke. It's an amazing opportunity. So, in simple terms, tax liens, you get paid interest when owners pay their overdue taxes, right? And this all goes through the county. They don't know who you are. They have to pay the county. Think about it. When your DMV amount is due, right? You owe $100 for your tags and license. They say, hey, if it's paid by this date, it's $100. But if it's paid after this date, it's $130. And you're like, oh, I got to pay it now or I'm going to pay 30% penalty. But people don't think about these percentage rates. They're astronomical. Where in tax liens and deeds and real estate, you get to actually make that money, right? Now, as far as tax deeds, you get the property outright for a bargain price, or you can invest in these properties on online auctions or in-person auctions, right? So why is this a powerful investment strategy? Well, first, it has high returns with low risk. Tax liens often pay between 8 and 36% annual interest. I'm not joking. Depending on the state, right? Tax deed properties can be bought for pennies on the dollar, offering massive potential for profit. Because the government guarantees the payout, your investment is secured by the real estate. That's the really exciting part. You just have to see what county you're investing in, and they will tell you the amount of time you have to wait until you get paid back. So How can you own real estate for cheap? Instead of paying $200,000 plus for a house, you could acquire properties for as little as $5,000 on a tax deed auction. Many investors have flipped tax deed properties for massive profits or keep them as rentals for passive income. It's also a wealth building strategy used by the rich. Warren Buffett and other billionaires have used tax liens to grow their wealth. Savvy real estate investors prefer tax deeds over traditional home buying because of the extreme discounts. And you don't need a lot of money to start. Unlike traditional real estate, you could start with just a few hundred to even a few $1,000s. I actually know somebody that bought his first tax lien, $265, and 15 years later, he is making over $300,000 a year. That's a true story. I know these people personally, and a lot of my students are already making between 18 and 38% because of fines. In these auctions right now, after a few weeks, if not a month, they're making those returns. It's absolutely incredible. The money, the checks are just showing up in the mail. Now, how can this lead to financial success and wealth? First off, number one, passive income from your interest payments. If you invest in tax liens and you break them up over a bunch of them, you collect interest payments from property owners when they pay their overdue taxes. This creates a constant cash flow, much like owning rental properties without the hassle of managing tenants. Next, you're buying real estate below market value. With tax deeds, you own properties outright for a fraction of their market value. You can then flip them for a quick profit or rent them out for monthly income. Next, you're building long-term wealth. Instead of competing for expensive properties, tax lien and tax deed investing allows you to acquire assets cheaply. Over time, this can build a powerful portfolio of real estate holdings. And then you've got the protection against stock market crashes. Unlike stocks, tax liens and deeds are backed by real estate, making them more stable investments. As a matter of fact, during a stock market crash or a housing market correction, tax liens and deeds become more bountiful and abundant, and it's easier to find great deals on them online, right? So if the stock market drops, you still own valuable properties and earn guaranteed interest. Now, let's talk about why you should start learning this now. And I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to put two courses together, the Tax Lien Pro and the Tax Foreclosure Master or the Tax Deed Master course, so you can learn no matter where you are in the country how to invest in this, okay? So millions of dollars in tax liens and deeds properties go unclaimed every year because people don't know about them. More people are struggling to pay their taxes, which means more opportunities for investors. Even small investors can get started. You don't need millions to build wealth with this strategy. If you're serious about financial success, tax lien and tax deed investing is an opportunity that you cannot afford to ignore. So, how do you get started? Well, step one is you learn how tax lien and deed auctions work in your state. That's what I built the course for. Step two is you research upcoming auctions. I put that all into the course. Step three is you start small. Attend an auction and bid on lower cost liens to gain experience. And just, if you want to attend one on the internet, it's free. If you want to attend one in person, it's free. It's free to learn that part, right? But you have to have all of this organized and ready to rock and roll. Now, the fourth step is to consider working with a mentor or an educational program to avoid costly mistakes. And that's why I set up monthly coaching calls twice a month. You can buy that and attend in conjunction with the course, and you have 2 coaching calls a month with coaches that are actively buying tax liens and deeds, and they can walk you through the process. And lastly, step 5 is to keep reinvesting those profits to grow your portfolio over time. Imagine where you could be in 5 years if you started investing in tax liens and tax deeds today. Look, the fact of the matter is, the best kept secret to financial freedom is tax liens and deeds, right? While most people chase stocks, crypto, and traditional real estate, few people understand the power of tax liens and tax deeds. So if you want financial success, I would highly suggest you look into this. I've done it. I've researched it. I've studied it. I know so many people making money, and now what we've done is put it all in front of you in one bundle of courses for honestly the lowest price I've ever seen for what's in that course. If you want to take action, smart investors don't wait. Start learning about tax liens and deeds today and unlock one of the most powerful wealth building strategies ever available. All right, with that being said, let's go and crush it in real estate.